Hi everyone, welcome to End of the World Weekly. Let me tell you how this show works. I'm Newsbot 29000. I'm a robot from the post-apocalyptic future. I've been programmed to send these broadcasts into the past in hopes that you Earth humans can avoid all the calamities that led to the end of the world. Okay, got it? Good. So let me tell you about some of your current events and how they spiral out of control and bring about the apocalypse. On Tuesday night, the Kansas GOP voted to raise taxes for the first time in 5 years. Conservative Governor Sam Brownback was furious with his fellow Republicans for not continuing to support his failed experiment, even though there was plenty of data to show that this was in the best interest of their citizens. Oh wow, a group of adults that were able to admit they were wrong based on new information? Are we sure this is United States politics we're talking about here? After raising taxes, the state of Kansas finally had enough money to fix its roads, repair and reopen schools that had been shuttered, and finally provide dimension-altering tornado insurance to all of its citizens. They had so much extra cash flow, in fact, that Kansas state lawmakers went ahead and gave themselves all a big fat raise before going back to partisan bickering. This week, anthropologists announced they had found the oldest Homo Sapiens fossils ever. The 300,000-year-old bone fragments were found in Morocco and led scientists to believe that humans evolved on the entire African continent, not just one fertile crescent. After the announcement, racists in the southern United States were even more insistent that mankind was only 6,000 years old and didn't come from no monkeys. Donald Trump took a heroic stand last week when he told the world that America would no longer be participating in the Paris Climate Agreement. Trump could see the devastation that would occur if CO2 emissions were left unchecked, but knew that most American businesses would never follow the guidelines laid out in the Accords to reduce their carbon footprint. So instead of forcing the country to come together for the common good, he gave America a bad guy to rally against. And it worked. Companies, cities, and even some entire states vowed to reduce their CO2 emissions just to spite Trump, when in fact, they were all playing into his hand. America deserved a far lesser hero, an Adam Ant, or perhaps a Shark Boy or Lava Girl, but certainly not both. But luckily, Donald Trump was the hero America got. And that brings us to our Alternative Facts of the Week segment. Let's get started. Alternative fact number 1. Last week, astronomers announced they had found the hottest exoplanet ever discovered. The surface of the newly discovered planet was covered in sandy beaches, bikini babes, and wet t-shirt contests. Alternative fact number 2. After Trump announced the U.S. was backing out of the Paris Climate Agreement, EPA Chief Scott Pruitt went full Lex Luthor, buying up property slightly inland in preparation for the changing coastline when he could sell it all back for way more than he paid for it. Alternative fact number 3. Fidget spinners hit peak fad this week when some pervert modified his in an effort to fuck it, but accidentally helicoptered his dick off. Alternative fact number 4. After being a vocal critic of Trump during the election, Friday afternoon, Mitt Romney said he would have taken the Secretary of State job if Trump offered it to him. Romney said that he spoke with several past secretaries, including Hillary Clinton, who begged him to take the position. Romney, of course, was disregarded once Putin informed Trump that Tillerson was going to be Secretary of State. Alternative fact number 5. This week, it was revealed that Attorney General Jeff Sessions offered to resign due to Trump acting like a baby ever since Sessions recused himself from any investigation into ties between Trump and Moscow. The toddler-in-chief was said to be very cranky about the decision and wanted his baba. And that does it for this week's segment of Alternative Facts of the Week. If you have any alternative facts you'd like to hear on the show, leave a comment below and we'll discuss them next week. On Thursday, France's new president Macron debuted a website aimed at bringing American workers to France in an effort to combat climate change and troll Donald Trump. The workers that took Macron up on his offer were treated so well that it wasn't long before the entire United States was begging France for work. But almost all had to be turned down because the world only needed so many baguettes. Last weekend, Lou Ferrigno and Sam Jay Jones, the guy who played Flash Gordon, and was way less famous considering the fact that I had to explain who he was, almost got into a fistfight at the UK Comic Con. The pair of testosterone-filled comic book heroes were separated by seemingly mild-mannered fan Darren, who yelled his signature catchphrase, "Act like adults and grow up," to cool down the situation. After everything had calmed down, the three grown men put their underwear on the outside of their clothes and grabbed a couple of drinks. That does it for this episode of End of the World Weekly. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to tune in next week where we'll have a brand new episode. Thanks again for watching. Bye!
Delicious.